everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be talking about my recommended reads for fall. Now that my hair is dark, this is just such a goth look. Like, it wouldn't look goth before, but it's very, like, vampy goth, and I guess we're just going with it. It doesn't suit me, but it is like my soul is coming through, so what can you do? Sometimes the inner witch comes out, or witch with a B. I have done quite a few fall recommendations videos in the past, so I will link all of those down below so you can go and check them out, but today I'm doing an update because I like to do one every single year. Hi, I'm just popping in from editing here, but I came up with the idea. I was thinking about doing my ultimate guide to fall reads because I've talked about a lot of my favorite fall reads in previous recommendations videos, but I thought it might be fun to do like a full guide of maybe my ultimate top 10. I don't know. Please let me know if you would be interested in that because then I will try and do that for you as soon as possible because fall will be over before we know it. So for the fall season, I like to read mysteries and kind of spooky books, sort of getting into the Halloween spirit. I'm not a big fan of Halloween, but I will take the chance to read some mysteries. Mystery is actually a genre that is pretty outside of my comfort zone, but last year for the first time I started reading some and I found quite a few that I actually enjoyed. So I do have quite a few for this list. I also like reading historical fiction for fall, but I decided to save that for winter because that's primarily what I read during the winter season. So I have quite a few books to talk about, so let's get into it. So first I have There's Someone Inside of Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is actually a book that I didn't love, but I could appreciate. Now, I'm not a big fan of horror films. Like, I am an absolute chicken, so I can't deal with any of that stuff. And this book was basically like a really corny, bad horror movie put into book form. So if you are looking for something to read around Halloween that's going to be a little bit spooky, but still fun, and you can kind of guess what's going on as it's happening, then this would definitely be a really good Halloween read. I feel like it's one that you can easily read in one sitting and just have there you go, Halloween accomplished, check mark. Well, it wasn't really my taste. It was still an enjoyable read, so I felt like I should still tell you guys about it. Next is The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslye Walton. Leslye Walton is the author of one of my favorite books of all time, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, but this is kind of a departure from that. You still have her lyrical and whimsical writing style, but it is applied to a much creepier and darker story. If you are looking for a witchy read, then definitely give this one a go. The atmosphere was perfect for the fall season. It wasn't as good as Ava Lavender for me, but I did still appreciate the witchy elements, and it was a very interesting concept. I go quite into depth about this book in my recent wrap-up, so I will link that down below for you guys if you wanted to hear more of my thoughts about it, but this basically features a spell book where you can purchase these spells. So you pay and then this witch will do the spells for you, which obviously has some pretty dire consequences because bad things happen when you cast spells. So there's a lot of witchy things going on in this story, and you really get that spooky Halloween fall vibe. So I think this would be a great book once again for reading on Halloween. I actually have a ton of fall reads on my TBR that when I was doing my unhauls, I set them aside because I was like, these are the books that I'm gonna read in fall, but now fall is here and I'm still in a reading slump and I'm like, oh dear God. So I think I'm going to do what I did last year, which is I did a 24-hour readathon on Halloween. I don't know if Read by Zoe was doing one then. I think she was doing it around then and I just did it on Halloween day, but I'm gonna do my own just me personal readathon on Halloween day for myself, and it's gonna be a good time. So I will vlog it for you guys though, because I know you guys have all been asking for a 24-hour readathon vlog, so I will do that for you. But basically what I was saying is that this book is spooky and really good for Halloween, and if you like witches. Next is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is the quintessential book that I think of when I think of fall. I actually had an arc of this that I read last fall. I think I actually read it for Halloween, but it was just everything I wanted it to be in terms of a spooky Halloween read, because it doesn't just have the creepy elements, though it does have that. It also has the fall atmosphere. I feel like at fall I like to read books that I feel like I can just curl up with a blanket and a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or cider or whatever, and there's rain on the window, you know, it's thunderstormy, you've got a fall storm going on, all the leaves are falling and everything, and the book is just it fits the vibe. I don't know how to describe that, but that was my best try. So this book deals with creepy fairy tales. There is a mystery mystery element to it because the main character, her mother has gone missing and her grandmother has died. So she's going to try and find her mother, and she's never met her grandmother because her grandmother wrote this crazy book of fairy tales and her mother has been keeping them apart because she thinks her grandmother is dangerous, and just there's a lot of drama there. But the elements of the dark fairy tales mixed with the kind of gloomy setting of the book and the mystery narrative that is going on is just like fall in a book. Next is Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. This is actually a historical fiction, but it is also a mystery story, which I didn't know going in, but it's written by a journalist, so like it is one of the coolest and best mysteries that I've read. This isn't a creepy story at all, but it definitely does have dark elements to it because it is set during World War II, and the main character has been dealing with the black market to try and survive, and one of her clients that she goes to see gives her the task of trying to find this Jewish girl that she had been hiding and then all of a sudden went missing. So you go on this journey trying to put together the pieces of where this girl has gone and if she's even alive anymore or if she's been captured. So this was a story that was thoroughly researched, and there were a lot of different elements that went into it that made it a very interesting mystery because there were things that I learned while reading it that I didn't even know about, and I couldn't help but feel a personal connection to the story because I do have a lot of Dutch heritage. Actually, I did 23andMe recently and I'm like 99.9% European, aka I'm really white. My last name is the White if you translate it into English, so I guess it makes sense. But my point with that was I have a lot of Dutch heritage and this book is set in the Netherlands, so it was really interesting to see what my family may have gone through, and you got that cultural element to it and the historical element, and then the mystery just gave it another level and it made it a very fascinating read that I found myself, I just wanted to keep on flipping the pages to figure out what was happening. Next is another mystery, and that is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I talked about this book in a recent video where I was recommending retelling, so I will link that video down below for you guys, but this is a retelling of Sherlock Holmes and it is gender bent, so we have Charlotte Holmes instead of Sherlock Holmes and we still have Watson there, but it's interesting because the Sherlock Holmes story still does exist in this story. So she has that razor sharp intelligence because she is related to the actual Sherlock. So it's interesting that Sherlock was made to be a real character and not a fictional character, and the mystery was a little bit predictable, but it was a really fun read, and I found myself wanting to read the sequel, which I actually haven't gotten to yet, but I'm so bad with sequels recently, but I definitely will get to it eventually, and I just like the fact that it paid homage to the original story and kept it in the narrative while still making it new. So it was very interesting and definitely a good fall read because who doesn't love a good Sherlock Holmes mystery for fall time? Next is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. This is a book that surprised me with how much I loved it because like I really loved it. The third book in this series actually came out recently and I still need to read it / listen to it because I like listening to the audiobooks for these series. By the way, I am an Audible affiliate, so if you click the link in my description down below, then you can sign up for a free trial and get 2 free audiobooks. But this story definitely has a mystery element to it, but it also has a really creepy atmosphere and some great characters. I loved the characters and it's so good. I honestly wasn't expecting this to be much. I don't know why, but I was like, nah, like maybe I'll like it, but probably it'll just be average, but like it's awesome. One of the things that makes this, I feel like, kind of macabre and really creepy is the fact that there are these different like photos. Can I even find them? Like obviously that one's not really creepy, but like old photos I think really add to it. It's like Miss Peregrine's. I think that's a perfect fall read. Look, that's creepy. Blah. So like just imagine on Halloween you're curling up with this book and it's like this mystery that you can't stop turning the pages and you're like, what is happening? Oh my god. And it just works. That was a terrible explanation. I apologize, but just read Stalking Jack the Ripper and the rest of the series because they are amazing and they are great for this time of year or any time of year. And my final recommendation for fall is Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. This is a really cool one because it is set in like this creepy circus, but the circus has like magical elements to it, but there's also this murder mystery going on. So our main character, her ability that she showcases at the circus is that she can create these different illusions. So like her family is made out of these illusions and someone is going and murdering her illusions, which she's like, I didn't know that could happen because they're figments of my imagination. How is someone killing it? So she's sent on this journey of trying to figure out who is doing this, how they are doing this, and it's just like a whirlwind adventure. You're like, what is happening? Keep in mind, I am awful at predicting any plot twists, so like some of you guys may have predicted a lot of the plot twists in some of these books, but like I'm just really bad at it. I was kept on the edge of my seat the entire time and I was like, oh my god, when everything was revealed. I did not see it coming. This is kind of like along the lines of Caraval in terms of the fact that it's a mystery and kind of like a creepy circus carnival-esque story. This definitely, in my opinion, had more traditional circus elements to it, but I encourage you to give this one a go. I was kind of put off by the cover, admittedly. A lot of people really love it, but I don't like it at all. I like the color of it, but that's about it. But if you don't like the cover, look past the cover and try this book out because it was very interesting. Actually, Amanda Foody's other book, which I don't want to go and get because I'm way too lazy right now, I'm sorry, but Ace of Shades is also a really good book for the fall time because it has some different mystery elements once again, but it also has a really brutal world. It's kind of like Las Vegas, but like taken to the extreme, and you have this character who definitely doesn't belong there. She's really like prim and proper, and she's left finishing school to try and find her mother who has gone missing. So you're seeing her trying to navigate this like really brutal and dangerous scene where she just doesn't really belong, but she does a great job of it. So those are all my recommendations for the fall season. Please let me know what you recommend that I read during fall, or if you have read any of these books and if you liked them, or if you're planning on reading them. Wow, that was a lot of things to let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you find some fall reads this year. If you did enjoy this video, and even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. I think I messed up that sentence, but it's fine. I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. You can also follow me on all of my social media. All of my handles and links and all of that stuff will be down below for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!